Ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all in Africa. What we see here is Peace in Nigeria International Organization, which is by abbreviation known as PINO, Peace in Nigeria and World Plus. So we are talking about Peace in Nigeria World Plus. It means it embraces all countries in the world. So I want to tell you how this project came about. Jameson, a very humble person, slept and woke up to find himself in this manner. God called me and said, "You're gonna promote peace in Africa, in the whole world." So, and that was the start point of the project. So we started a peace project. We're not worldwide, and all we need to do is, we don't talk about peace as an individual. We talk about peace because you have a problem with another person. You talk about peace because you need your neighbor. You talk about peace because you know someone who close to you. So you're gonna bring all of that together to bring in peace. So when we talk about peace project, what is peace? By the way, peace is a permanent access. I've earlier said in Tanzania in one of my videos. Peace is a permanent asset. I never knew peace is an asset until on Nigeria Independence Day we had a bomb blast, and again after that it's followed by religious crisis in every Sunday. Maybe you have about Boko Haram in Nigeria, you know, the churches. So people began to wonder all about. So the riches also wonder. Everybody, there was nobody exempted. So why are we talking about peace? We are talking about peace because I need your love. He needs my love. All of us have to come together to build the world, Africa, and what have you. So what are we doing in Africa to bring the peace? It is only in Africa you see bombings here, you see crisis here, you see people hating one another, you see people fighting for this, that, what have you. Our leaders should get to listen to us today. That all what we're asking them of is not that we're asking for everything, but we want that oneness, we want that sense of belonging. We want to belong, we want to be seen. Don't go to television, don't go to newspapers telling us about your progress. Your achievements are things we should see by naked eyes. It's not something you are going to television, you are going to newspapers telling us what you are doing about. It is pragmatic, it's something we see practically. It is not something you go pay money. That little money you pay to media to tell people about what project you are doing is what can be reinvested, you know, to stimulate the economy, to give someone that sense of belonging. So we're talking about peace in Africa, peace in the world, peace in Nigeria. We are talking about that togetherness. We should all be one. What are we going to do to our street children? The children on the street, they don't have mother, they don't have father. You are going to be their mother. You are going to be their father. Let's see how we get them out the street. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's what the project is talking about. We're about touching lives. We're about seeing what we can do to one another to bring in that peace, to salvage the situation. Must Africa continue in this way? No, our leaders should listen to us. All we are talking about is forget about your pockets, forget about the money you steal, forget about this. How long are you going to stay on this planet? How long are you going to stay on this way? That you keep amassing weight, that nothing shall come out of it. When you die, all is gone. The place they're going to bury you is not going to be wide as this. It's a very simple and narrow place where my own body could not, I mean you could have gone into my body how many times. So what we're talking about is touch someone's life, teach someone how to fish. He's not asking, he's gonna not ask you to give him the fish. Teach him how to fish so that tomorrow shall be better. He's gonna extend that to his fellow human being, his fellow neighbor, what have you. This and that. Africans, the word. What is our problem? Leadership is our problem. But the youth, I'm calling on all the youth in the continent. Let's come together, join our hands together, help one another, bring in that peace, motivate one another, care for your neighbor, care for your brother, care for your sister, care for your mother, care for your father. This is all what the project is all about. We are talking about touching lives. We are talking about making someone to have that sense of belonging. That's all we are talking about. So you can't do anything, you can't do everything for us, but help us. Give us that sense of belonging, so that we shall be able to have that sense of belonging, to know that we belong to a place, right? So you amass all this weight. After 2-3 days, you are gone. What happened to all what you've acquired over time? You may leave it to to a family who could not even utilize it in a more meaningful manner, and all is gone. So why can't you touch someone's life and say, my brother, I love you. My sister, I love you. My father, I love you. My mother, I love you. Go this way, go that way, so that all shall be well for us. That's all what the project is all about. We are talking about helping one another. We are talking about touching lives. We are talking about how someone like you is created just like you, that because you are opportune to be there does not mean that that person is nobody. We are talking about if you see someone there who hadn't the opportunity, that doesn't mean that's the end of the world. He could be great tomorrow, he could be great today. So what are we talking about? You do it in a way so that all of us shall embrace peace. All of us shall say, good morning, my brother, good morning, my mother, good morning, my sister, good morning, my father. So the Peace Project is all about touching lives. The Peace Project is all about understanding ourselves together, calling one another my brother, calling one another my sister. That's just what we're talking about. So what does it cost you? You came into this world with nothing, and so empty shall you go. So what accumulate all? What are you going to go with? Nothing. I tell you today, whether you believe it or not, those who talk about peace, you talk about bishops, you talk about pastors, you talk about reverend fathers. Their pregnancy does not indicate they are reverend fathers, they are going to be pastors on earth. So me and you can talk about peace. All of us can bring peace in the world, right? Peace has no discrimination. You can talk about peace, she can talk about peace, he can talk about peace, everyone can talk about peace, everyone can touch someone's life, okay? So when you're talking, you mustn't be a pastor, you mustn't be a bishop to preach peace or to bring peace. The simple ABC of peace is about touching one's life very small. You have someone, you quite comprehend what I'm talking about. So you're talking about, I love you. You love me. Tell your neighbor, I love you. You're going to be great. And God is going to bless all of us. And then tomorrow it shall be. So we talk about caring for one another, and once that is done, there will be nothing like rebellious. Nobody will carry arms to fight another person. Yeah? Do you get what I'm talking about, or you're only filming me? Are you only filming me? Or you get what I'm talking about, you golfing me? So call on our leaders, let's talk to our leaders, let's talk to our youth. Tell them it is time for the old people to get back, and allow the youth who have that sense of belonging, who have what it takes to bring other youth on the street, to be there to cater for one another. So if you think you are older, you are passionate of ideas, leave the youth to build the word of today, right? You got what I'm talking about. My project has gone to Europe. I've been in Europe. I've gone to countries which I wouldn't want to mention names. And I see that the whites, the black embrace the project. So meaning everybody in the world loves peace. Without peace, there's no progress. I'm going to tell you this. Whether I like it or not, it's a simple truth, and I have to tell you that everybody needs peace. Without peace, no economic planning. Without peace, you can't sleep and close your eyes right. So let's help ourselves. Why do you keep deceiving ourselves? You got to love one another. You got to love not just your family. When you're talking about Bible or Quran, it's almost the same. So when you're talking about love, they're talking about your neighbor. So into the Bible or the Quran is stupid about talking about neighbor, love your neighbor as yourself, what have you. And no, because we are all created from one God, from one image, and all of us are going to represent that. So if I hurt you, if you talk about peace, like where I come from, if you visit me and there's no food in the house, I would prefer starving myself that I allow you eat. So if you have that kind of love for one another, would you carry arms against your brother? You can't even create an ant, you can't create a fly, and then you have the audacity, temerity to kill? For what?